You could soon be paying more for a glass of beer or wine. Hello, everyone. I'm Mike Johnson.
And I'm Alexandra Renslow. The Minnesota House is considering tacking on an extra 7 cents for a glass of beer. For a case of 24, you could pay an extra $4. And for a 31-gallon barrel, it could cost you about $27 more. Delane Cleveland looks at this proposal and what it means for local liquor stores.
Well, the store's been here for over 50 years.
Princeton's Liquors in Osseo has a long history.
It was originally owned by my father-in-law's parents.
For those 50 years, this small business has had the distinction of being family-owned and operated.
My father-in-law, my brother-in-law, my wife works in it too, and so does my mother-in-law.
But a proposed alcohol tax by the Minnesota legislature has manager Nick Stanoch worried about what could happen to his family.
We're not millionaires, we're not rich. We need this revenue to pay for our kids' school and our kids' meals, as simple as that.
The issue surrounds his bottom line.
It's just going to raise prices across the board.
An alcohol tax would have consumers paying $4 more for a case of beer, and even more for a keg.
For a full barrel, the proposal would raise the tax $27 or something like that.
Stanoch thinks his store would lose money.
People might drink less, possibly. They also might drink cheaper. They might buy less expensive things, to save that money.
Talk to some state legislators.
The tax has not been increased since 1987.
And they point to the fact that an alcohol tax would pay back Minnesota's schools, lower property taxes, and fund chemical dependency programs. Senator Chris Eaton wants her fellow lawmakers to support it.
I'm hoping that because it has so many benefits from so many different angles, that I can get it through.
Maple Grove resident Paul Juntunen feels otherwise.
My opinion is if you're going to need extra money for taxes, you should tax something that everybody uses. Everybody.
As for Stanoch,
we always seem to be getting picked on.
He says state lawmakers should find other ways to raise money so that the people in the liquor industry don't have to suffer.
If people aren't buying as much or cheaper, they're going to have to cut jobs, and that, I might have to cut jobs, who knows?
While the alcohol tax has support in the Minnesota House, the Senate is opposed to the idea, instead preferring taxes on tobacco and the first sales tax on clothing. So, Mike and Alex, the question that the state lawmakers are going to have to answer is simply what are they going to tax and how high are those taxes going to be?
Simple questions, tough answers.
Yeah, tough answers, absolutely.
All right,
Thanks a lot, Delane.